Why you keep going back to smoking even when you really want to quit. And this is something I'm going to address today because it really is an issue for folks. So let's talk about something real for a moment. If you've ever tried quitting smoking and then somehow found yourself right back at it, even though you swore you were done, and even though you meant it and thought you wanted to stop, this is exactly what keeps happening, and I want you to hear this clearly. It's not because you don't want it badly enough. It's not because you're weak, and it's certainly not because you lack discipline. None of that. Most of the people I work with are highly motivated. They tried to quit multiple times. They've read books. They've watched videos, chewed gum, tried the patches. They've had those moments where they've even said, "That's it. I'm done. I'm never touching another one." And they meant it. Absolutely, 100%. But then a day goes by, a week, or maybe in a month. It can be a while. And then suddenly they're lighting up again, thinking, how did I end up back here again? Can you relate? So you're not alone, and you're definitely not broken. If you know already this is for you, you can text QUIT to 650-389-3200, and we'll talk about getting you there. Now, here's the truth most people never hear. Smoking isn't just a habit you decide to stop. It's a pattern that's wired into your subconscious mind. And that matters because your subconscious is the part of you that runs the automatic stuff. It's the stuff you don't even think about, the stuff that just happens. You learn to drive your car, you did it consciously, and now you drive automatically. All those things we do automatically, it's just like that. So even when your conscious mind says, that part of you that sets goals, makes decisions, says, I'm done. And even when that part is ready to quit, another part of you is still running the old program. And that old program is powerful. That's why the urge shows up automatically after meals, during stress, when you're driving, when you're bored, and when you're around certain people, when you feel a certain emotion, and you don't even think about it. It just happens. It's like your brain hits play on a computer script you didn't even consciously choose. So when people try to quit using willpower alone, they're trying to override something automatic with something that's effort based. And that's exhausting. It's really quite frustrating. It's like trying to hold a beach ball underwater, and you can do it for a while. But the moment you get tired, boom, the moment you get distracted, and the moment life gets stressful, that beach ball shoots right back up, doesn't it? And then you feel frustrated. You might even feel defeated, and you feel like you failed. But you didn't fail. You're just using the wrong tool. Because willpower doesn't change the pattern, it just fights it. And fighting yourself is not a long-term strategy. What actually works, what creates long-lasting change, is changing the pattern itself, changing the part of you that's running the automatic pattern, that automatic program. And that's where hypnosis comes in. Because through hypnosis, we're working directly with your subconscious, that place where the pattern actually lives. And that's the place where the associations, the triggers, the emotional connections, all your routines, all of that, that's where it's stored. That's where you programmed it. And so instead of fighting yourself, instead of trying to push through that urge again, we begin to remove that automatic pull towards smoking. And that's when people say, this feels different. It was different. Because suddenly they're not in a constant battle anymore. And suddenly they're not thinking about cigarettes all day. Suddenly they're not white knuckling their way through cravings. And suddenly they're not waking up every morning trying to stay strong. And instead they started to feel calm. They've even started to feel neutral. And they started to feel like the urge just isn't there. And that's when quitting becomes easy. Not because you're forcing it, but because the part of you that used to reach for a cigarette no longer needs it. And imagine that for a moment, just waking up and not even thinking about smoking, finishing a meal and not wanting one, feeling stressed and not reaching for one, driving and not craving one, being around other smokers even and feeling completely unaffected. That's what happens when the subconscious pattern changes. And if you're at that point when you're ready to stop for good, if you already know you're tired of the cycle and you're tired of quitting and restarting, if you're tired of feeling like cigarettes have more control than you do, you can go ahead and text me quit at 650-389-3200 and we'll talk about getting you there. No pressure, no judgment. It's just a real conversation about what's been happening in your mind and how to finally shift it. Because you don't need more effort. You don't need more willpower. And you don't need another round of trying harder. You need the right level of change. The level where the pattern actually lives. And once that changes, everything becomes simple. So if you're ready, text quit to 650-389-3200. You don't have to keep fighting yourself. You don't have to keep repeating the cycle. And you don't have to keep going back to something you're ready to walk away from. You just need the right approach. And once you have that, you'll finally feel free of it.